Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Now today we're on a beer from Marstons, and we've got Old Empire IPA, Marston's Brewery. There you go. Hopefully it'll be quite nice, but you never know. You never know. Right, I've done the stupid faces. Now what does it say? Oh, it's just giving you. Oh, what's with the three barrels? We've had all that crap before. Bugger off. Burton-on-Trent Town. It is Marston's. The Burton Union, our unique brewing system, and DE14 Innovation Brewery, brewing the future. Jesus, I'm fucking started already, more shit. But anyway, it's 5.7%, and with a really spill on the back, and oh, bollocks there is. That's unfortunate. Right, Old Empire IPA. A memorable and deceptively easy drinking IPA. This is an authentic recreation of the beer style created for and enjoyed throughout the empire. Goldens, Fuggles, and American Cascade hops combine to give a crisp citrus hop aroma with a balanced bittersweet finish. I honestly don't think they used American Cascade hops back in the days of the Empire. I really honestly don't. But for some strange reason, you're doing a recreation. Yeah. Anyway, we'll take from this what we will. I don't know the price. I'll obviously put all the details down below, and of course, well, you know it's Fuggles, Goldens, and American Cascade hops. I don't know what malts used, but if I find that, of course, it'll all go down below in the beer facts, and keeps me right, and also corrects any mistakes that I make, of which there are probably many. So yeah, let's crack it open. Ooh. And we'll see what it's like. Aha! Right. That's not a bad pour there today. You got that one right. That's a nice one finger head. And there we go. It's looking good. So it's roughly a kind of very light kind of amber colour. There's a bit of, it's not clear. There's a little bit of kind of cloudiness to it. I'm not going to say hazy. I'm not going to do that. It's cloudiness or slightly opaque. You can shove your hazy, but the sun don't shine. And yeah, but it is quite light. It's very kind of light amber, so it is. And yeah, one finger head. There's a wee bit of prawn crackers kind of ness to it, so you've got a lot of big bubbles that are kind of dissipating quite quickly in the head for people in the podcast. And overall, it looks more like a kind of traditional kind of ale. That's what it kind of looks like, with a slightly kind of cloudiness and everything else. What does it smell of? Well, I'm getting hops. I'm getting slightly ginger notes. So very light ginger notes. Maybe a little bit of citrus. Not really getting malt. No, I'm not really getting malt. Not getting grain. I'm just getting these kind of two kind of slightly kind of hoppy-esque aromas, and that's really it. Nothing else. So there you go. Put the glasses up again, try and look semi kind of compos mentis. So yeah, there you go. That's covered for the Instagram. So let's see what it tastes like. There's a little bit of citrus at the end there, but it's so light. It's almost, and the problem is that the citrus just actually reminds me of tangerines. It reminds me of satsumas or clementines or something like that. It doesn't actually taste kind of pithy or kind of peely or kind of sour or bitter in any way. Just slightly kind of accents of tangerine, but more of the juice, not of the peel or anything like that. It's just that kind of, you're just biting into your favourite tangerine, which of course at this time of year, this is obviously when it starts getting harvested and getting sent out all across Europe. So yeah, this is the normal period for kind of oranges and things like that to be harvested. So yeah. I'm getting a wee bit more bitterness now in the aftertaste. But again, it's not too bad, it's quite controlled. But a decent level. I mean, it's a nice bitterness for an ale. I would say. I wouldn't say it's a big bitterness for an IPA, especially with one with Cascade hops in it. I think obviously our American brethren would be looking for a little bit more, and I know the craft beer channel, is it the craft beer channel? I think they would be wanting a lot more. I mean, you've got the haziness, now you're going to give me the bitter and the sour, they'd be looking for all that. But no, I would say it's just kind of a nice level, a controlled level, but it does have that little kind of tangerine accents, which does obviously point it towards being more of a kind of a citrusy type kind of hop being used, so it does give you that away. Malt, it's okay. There's not much malt there. There's an okay level of malt. I'm not saying there's lots of malt, but it's an okay level. But the sweetness isn't too bad as well. But overall, it's actually not a bad kind of feel to the beer. But it is changing as the more I drink it. It's kind of slightly evolving. There's a little bit of tannins there as well. It's getting a little bit of slightly tea accents as well. So yeah, you're getting slightly tea accents, you're getting slightly kind of tangerine kind of accents. You are getting a bitterness there, and it's kind of citrusy bitterness, but the thing that's really kind of connecting that is probably this kind of slightly kind of tangerine kind of accents, especially in the aftertaste, end of the mid tongue, start of the aftertaste. But yeah, it's actually not a bad beer. It's nothing like the beers that would have been brewed for the Empire. Absolutely nothing like it. But at the end of the day, everybody's got their own kind of perceptions and their own ideas and opinions, especially in this industry. And yeah, a lot of it's kind of made up jiggery pokery nonsense, and yeah, they'll just say anything just to get you to buy it, so you've got to understand that. So let's break down these flavours. Start off with a nice kind of level of malt, not a lot of malt, but a nice level of malt, a little bit of grain, but again the grain's quite light and just a nice little bit of sweetness there. But overall it's actually not a bad start. Moves on to the mid-tongue, and then it kind of slightly changes a bit because the malt kind of stays where it is. It doesn't really kind of dissipate because the grain dissipates a bit, the sweetness dissipates a little bit, but I think that's also down to you starting getting slight kind of tanning kind of accents coming through. So you're getting the tanning accents coming through, especially in the kind of front of the mid-tongue to the kind of mid of the mid-tongue. But then as it starts to move to the end of the mid-tongue, you're starting to get these kind of what it feels like to me is tangerine accents, which then kind of cross over into the aftertaste. I'm not getting so much bitterness in the mid-tongue. Maybe some slight accents at the very end, but to be totally honest, there isn't really any bitterness at all in the mid-tongue. But what happens is it starts to kind of ramp up a bit in the aftertaste. So just as it kind of crosses over with these kind of slightly citrus and little light accents of tannins or tea, then you're starting to get it. And this is what happens. The malt, the sweetness and the tannins, they're the first to kind of dissipate in the aftertaste, and then you're left with these little kind of tangerine accents. and what's left of the bitterness. But it's not a lingering bitterness, it's quite a clean bitterness, but it's an okay level for an ale, I would definitely say so. But yes, it does have that slightly kind of citrus kind of feel to it, just because you have these tangerine accents kind of surrounding it. But I wouldn't say it's particularly pithy or kind of orange peel. But yeah, overall, it's not a bad one. If you don't like kind of citrus flavours in your beer, even though they're not too strong, but there is that kind of tangerine kind of accent, you might not like this. But no way would I turn around and say it's like a kind of more kind of modern or craft IPA, because it just isn't. They've added just little accents that kind of remind you of that, or has a little bit of connection with the kind of more craft style IPAs, but in general it's just a kind of more kind of lighter kind of amber ale with bitter accents and a little bit of kind of tangerine accents as well. But up until the kind of end of the mid tongue, it's acting more like a kind of standard kind of lighter amber ale with you know, the tea or kind of tanning flavours, the sweetness, the malt and everything else. It's just right up until then it's just a kind of normal ale, and then it just slightly kind of changes near the end of the mid tongue and onto the aftertaste. So yeah, it's not too bad. But what would I give it out of 10? It's drinkable. I don't know if it's sessionable, because that little bit of bitterness there with the tangerine accent, for me, I think it would get a bit sickening quite quickly. Again, it'd be one of these ones, I don't think I could probably drink 2 bottles in a row. I think I'd have to split them up. I think I'd have to have something in between to kind of change my palate, and then I could maybe go back to it. I certainly couldn't drink 2 bottles of it in a row, because I think I would just find it sickening, and I probably wouldn't even finish the second one. I just think, no, I need something else here. It's starting to annoy me. But yeah, what would I give this out of 10? Based on that fact, it's not a bad ale, and it's not a bad thing to drink, and I don't know if I'd buy it myself, but I would drink it again. And if somebody offered me it, then yeah, I said, yeah, go on, I'll give it a go. Yeah, not a problem. So I would never refuse it. I don't know if I'd buy it again though, but I would say give it a go and see what you think yourself. It might work for you, might not, but I'd say give it a go. Again, I don't know what the price, but I'll put it down there. But based on how it tastes, I'm going to give this a 5.5 out of 10. It's not good enough to be a 6, because it just, I don't know why they call it IPAs and then they make all this nonsense. It's a kind of strange one. Yeah, up until kind of the end of the end of the mid tongue, start the aftertaste, it's really just a kind of a more kind of traditional amber ale, light amber ale, which is quite nice and quite pleasant. I mean, not a problem with that at all. And then it kind of slightly changes, and I think the changes don't really add to it. I mean, you could have given it a different style of bitterness without the tangerine accents, and I think that would have worked better. It's a good way. It's like if you've had a Tongham tea, and I was quite disappointed with the Tongham tea, and I feel that this one here, up until kind of near the end of the mid tongue, is like it's like a nicer version of what Tongham tea should be, because I just feel that we're just slightly kind of too much with the tannings and everything else, and it was just detracting from other flavours and everything else, and it was just, no, just for me the Tongham tea just wasn't quite working. It was like as if it was trying too hard, whereas this one is delivering something that is a better balance from the front of the mouth to the kind of middle of the mid tongue. There's a nice balance there, which I think Tongham tea should have been. is probably a better way of describing it. And then after that, it just kind of, well, it goes a bit weird, and it just doesn't really quite work for me. It's okay, it's fine, but it's when you drink a bottle and you think, oh, I don't think I could go another one. I mean, that's not a good sign, especially when it's okay. It's not an overly strong beer. It's only 5.7%, and how would I say it's kind of quite easy drinking, quite sessionable to a certain degree. It's only when the aftertaste really kind of starts working on you, that's when you start kind of losing the kind of sessionability of it. That's the problem. And yeah, from that's why I can only give it a 5.5 out of 10. But it's actually not bad. I would say give it a go. I'm not going to say recommend it, rush out and buy it. I just wouldn't. But I would say give it a go and see how it works for you. And I think it's slightly kind of marmitey. I think it's a case of some people it work for, and then other people it just won't. I just this just isn't me. You know, it was too much of a change at the end. So there you go. So it's a 5.5 out of 10. It's a 5.7%, 500ml bottle. Thanks for watching. Cheers, and bye for now.